I don't know. I think we might have a surprised guest.
Oh,
Tonight
Hello.
on the show.
Very good to be on the show. I am Vivek Ramaswamy. Now, people are always saying, Vivek, there's lizard people controlling the world. Now, you or I might say, that's a little odd. That's a little odd of a thing to say, but what is the underlying wisdom there? What is the intuition at play? You know, people are upset and they feel like their leaders are cold, calculated, and they feel like they probably could eat people. And I don't want to be partisan. And that's why I'm running for president. Because we need leadership in this country that don't feel like a bunch of reptilian pedophile shapeshifters luring children into caves in the mountains.
right.
Right. Well,
Like even if this is true, even if they're not, it feels like they are. You know what I'm saying?
You can't blame one for intuiting that our leaders could be a bunch of reptilian shapeshifters drinking human blood in secret government bases.
Right.
Okay?
No, yeah, that's I mean, that's how a lot of people have been feeling for several years now.
More and more all the time. As a guy that doesn't feel like it's necessarily that bad, I try and tell them it's not that bad, but it feels that way. I gotta admit, as a guy that's like, it's not that bad, but feels like it's that bad.
No, but I mean, to be real, like Vivek really is our guy.
Yeah, he's great.
You know, Max and I, we both, I think, well, I don't want to speak for Max, but I think that him and I come from the same path, which is basically like libertarianism to conservatism via Trumpism.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
and, you know,
the way I like Vivek too. It evidently Trump does as well. The thing with Vivek that I like is that Vivek is actually a lot like Trump, but without the, I guess, rough edges. Interestingly enough, Vivek is what I initially thought DeSantis was until Max pointed out some things that Ryan are on, and I'm like, oh shit, yeah, that's not good. So
you're so right. It comes down to, I mean, you say that he doesn't have rough edges. I think that both Trump and Vivek have one thing in common, which is that like they're willing to go into the lion's den. They're willing to go into places that are not comfortable and come out alive. And they do so in different ways. They have different styles.
Yeah.
Now, Vivek's style is to just use his superior intellect to take their hits against him and just like manipulate it and hit them back with something else.
Yeah.
Did you see him on the Don Lemon video? I mean, he's part of the reason why Don Lemon got fired.
Yeah, I did. Well, I watched him on the last episode of the All In podcast where he was like, I think I'm the only one here who watches that podcast, but he like in 90 minutes he completely like outlined his platform very like succinctly, but also didn't really and like they weren't trying to like throw gotcha questions,
right?
But like he basically said like he basically, from what I could tell, pretty much reiterated like a lot of Trump's like agenda points, but in his own like manner of speaking.
Well, but I could say this. I've kept quiet up till now because like I got an interesting perspective, being as I kind of know him. I've met him on many occasions at libertarian functions and conservative functions over the years. I wouldn't say we're best friends, but we've talked, and he's given speeches that I've really enjoyed.
Sure.
In situations that could be seen as standing up. For example, the free speech event, I believe it was, that he spoke at, that they were like yelling Nazis, and it's like you got this like you know, you got this idiot guy who's the fucking keynote speaker, which wasn't him, but he was there at that event. He was there at a couple other like libertarian fundraisers and things and functions. And so I've gotten to kind of know the guy, and all I can say is he's really genuine. Like what he's saying now, he hasn't really changed much.
Well, and
he's always nice to everybody. That's the thing you guys kind of hit on. He's just perpetually nice, and I've never seen anybody say otherwise. Like as far as just a person, he's a good dude. As far as
if I had him on the show, I would ask him if he has read David Haidt's work, which I would estimate he probably has. Being such like a research driven guy, it seems, at least from the outside. Because when he is giving speeches or talking publicly, he seems to purposely hit upon moral foundations that lots of people have, but he avoids one in particular, which would be disloyalty, which is very high among conservatives. And the way he does that, the way he's able to run against Trump but say good things about him, file lawsuits with the DOJ for injustice, which strategically makes sense. Look, if you're a candidate, a Republican candidate, they're going to do the same thing that they did to Trump if you're ever a threat to their power.
Right.
Which Vivek would at least feel that he is.
And here's the real thing. It's like he's just a dude. His campaign staff has been built up over the course of this campaign. He's running. This is why I don't have a problem with him running against Trump, knowing the guy. Is he's one of the few guys I ever vibed with at most of these libertarian things, because we were more on the Trump tip from the beginning. I came in the exact opposite of Smuley, just because I'm older. I came in from the Reform Party movement, which at the time, when I was graduating high school, seemed like it had more potential and was more in line with my shit. And yes, Trump was a big part of that, but it fell apart when Trump left. And so I found myself like, if you wanted into like outside of red or blue, you went with libertarian. So, and he's kind of that too. That's why he was there, because he's more of a traditional libertarian leaning or libertarian conservative, like a minarchist. And he's always been brave like this. And he's running for president because he believes in what he's saying, not against anybody. He's running for president. He's one of those guys. And if it wasn't the Trump 2024, I would support him all the way. He's the only other candidate right now I would.
He's the only candidate, at least that I've heard. He actually made a point of this on the All In podcast when I listened to him.
But again, I had to say that I'm biased when I say that. Yeah. To be fair.
Well, to be fair though, Max, he is the only candidate I've heard so far that basically has said from the outset that all these charges against Trump are politically motivated and that they're bullshit, and that he would pardon Trump.
The exact thing I criticized DeSantis for, right? Not coming when they indicted him before. I was like, "Why? Where's his statement at all? He didn't say anything."
Where's Ron DeSantis on The Breakfast Club?
Yeah.
Where's Ron DeSantis on CNN getting Don Lemon fired? Where's Ron DeSantis like out there on the David Pakman show?
Bro.
And David's coming at him with these got you questions and trying to start beef with him and other candidates. And he's able to, in real time, flip it back on him and make David Pakman go on the defensive. Where is it? I don't see it.
Yeah. I want to go back a second and highlight the Breakfast Club is dangerous territory for a conservative candidate of any kind, let alone that, okay, maybe he had a better skin color for their preference, right? But other than that, like, that's brave for a Republican candidate for office to go on the Breakfast Club at all. Because
they insinuated that he would say the N-word in private.
Yeah.
They went hard after him. He's not scared of that. He's not scared to go into the uncomfortable part, and that's the part that you can admire as a man.
Yeah. Well, I do want to point out too, though, in regards to the Breakfast Club. The Breakfast Club, to their credit, at least had Rush Limbaugh on.
They will. They'll have a conservative on, but you got to have balls of steel.
Oh, yeah.
Smuley's right. You're not going to see Ron DeSantis do that. It's never going to happen. Never.
Yeah. Well, Smuley is asking where is DeSantis on all these podcasts. The bigger question is, where's Ron DeSantis? Period.
Not Florida.
Not here. Not at the governor's mansion. Lieutenant Governor Janet Nunez is doing a heck of a job right now.